Okay, so your assignment is this is the first thing we've ever done with coding. So you are going to just do a very basic startup of Sketch for Of Mice and Men, and then we're going to work from there. So you need to have a brief scene from Of Mice and Men you think is vital to the understanding of the novel. You need to include a piece of dialogue, so you're going to have to go back in the book, get a quote, choose two characters to include in there at least. You could have three or four, but at least two. You need to have the characters interact with each other, talk to each other. Um, and you need to select an appropriate background. And we'll continue this after you've mastered the skills that you need to understand Scratch. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to explain these blocks over here. So, here's my character D. The way that I got that character is I went to New Sprite here and then just looked around under people. And then I found, you could see all these different people, and I found D there. Just click on them, and that's going to import a new sprite. The tree I found by, again, going to New Sprite and Things, and I found the tree down here somewhere. There it is. And then I found the mouse by going to Animals. Okay, so that's the way that you find your sprites. Now, how did I script each sprite? Well, first of all, let's start with D. I started out by putting a when clicked block in there under events. So I grabbed that and dragged it over. Then I needed him to talk, and I want him to say random things, right? So I went to data and I added a variable and called it choice. I'll put choice 2 just to show you and hit OK. Choice 1 is going to be what I use over here to get him to randomly say things. I went and grabbed this set block and threw that in there to set him to make choices. Then I went to operators and hit pick random 1 through 10, but I changed it to 1 through 3. So that's going to have him randomly say things. You always want to position your characters in certain places. There's an X and a Y axis down here. I pulled the motion block here that says go to and put it up here and set the coordinates for him to stand in the right place. Now, for control, I want him to say random stuff, right? So I picked the if-then block and put it here. If what? Well, if, and then I went ahead and took choice 1 and dropped it. Well, I couldn't, right? I'm lying. I had to get an operator first. I got an operator here, this one with the equal sign that says if this happens, then this happens, right? This equals this. So I dropped that there, went and grabbed my choice block, and then put the number 1. So this is choice number 1. Well, if choice number 1 happens, what? I went ahead and went to looks, even though you'd think that's speaking because it's saying say, saying things is under looks, and dragged over my say block. And well, what is he going to say? And I know that George told me to go somewhere safe, but I can't remember where. So I try to take something from the text. And that's one of the random things I want him to say. I want it to wait 2 seconds so when he talks, it will stay on the screen, right? And that's choice number 1. I repeated the process by just pulling another if then block in from here, then putting choice 1, putting the choice 1, putting the sensing block. Another cheaty way to do that, if you really wanted to, is you could take this, right click and duplicate, and it will duplicate the same thing. You just have to make sure once you duplicate that when you put these blocks back here, you change this to choice 2, change this to choice 3, so they say different things each time, and then make sure you type in different text down here. And then repeat the process of pulling in say from looks and wait 2 seconds from control. So then you got your first piece of coding done there. For your second piece of coding down here, I want him just to talk randomly if I click on him to the mouse, right? So I went ahead and grabbed when the sprite is clicked, I want him to glide, so he floats over there. So I picked glide 1.7 seconds, and I put the X and Y axis that matches where the mouse is at, right? So you have to look down here to find that, and I got him to go right there. I want him to wait a second, so I had to grab that. So I'll stop and talk to the mouse. Then I wanted him to say something. So again, I went back to say hello and change it to, hey, you have any information about a good place to hide? And then I want him to wait 1 second, okay, while he talks. So let's look and see when I hit the flag. Man, I did something bad. I need help hiding. So that's one of my random things. If I click on it again, a couple times, he'll change what he says. If I actually click on him, he'll walk over and, hey, do you have any information about a good place to hide? And all my script worked. As far as the tree goes, we want to have it show up when clicked in the position here. Again, you got to check your X and Y axes. And then you want to set it to 75% so it's smaller. Okay, so it's in the right position. As far as my mouse goes, when he's clicked, I want him to say, this is a great place to hide. This is a great place to hide. Follow me. Okay, so it does that. I want it to stay on the screen for a second. You don't want it to stay too long. Then I needed to broadcast this hidden pond, right? So I went and grabbed an event and took broadcast. Threw that there. Then I added a new message and called it the hidden pond. Then I wanted this to stay on the screen for 5 seconds, so I put that there. And then I went ahead and put for him to say, I hope George gets here soon, for while he's standing there. Now, what broadcasting? What's that? Where did that come from? Well, if we go back to our backdrops, I put a event in here that when I receive something, right, when I receive a broadcast is to send something to go and happen somewhere else. And then I put it to switch the backdrop to winter by going and grabbing my switch backdrop, put that over there, and then clicked here to find winter, which is what it was called. So I'm broadcasting that out. If you look at the two backdrops, you got blue sky here, and that's there. Now under blue sky, I actually put the broadcast when I received the hidden pond, right? That's what that was hidden pond. Switch backdrop to winter. So delete that off. That's accidentally, I just put that there a second ago. But so that's broadcasting. So when I received the hidden pond, switch backdrop to winter. So that's going to happen again. If we stop and start here, he stands there. I want him to talk to the mouse. Goes and talks to the mouse. Asks the mouse if he's got a good place to hide. The mouse says it's a great place. Follow me. And then once I clicked on that mouse, it switched over to that other backdrop. Okay, because I had broadcast the hidden pond. Wait 5 seconds so that screen stays up there and says, I hope George gets here soon. So that's all the scripting that I used here. Try and follow those examples and then ask me if you need help. I do have a product descriptor for you guys. So that's up here as well. And if you need help, go ahead and ask. Here's your points. 10 points if it's exceptional, 7 points if it's proficient, 5 points if it's developing, and 2 points if it's beginning. So good luck. I'm sure you'll do awesome. Make sure that you have all the story elements in there. The project design is really great. You show that you really understand how to program and that you understand the process, and then you contact me if anything is a struggle.